manifestations of the Spirit.
Yes.
Because without the manifestations of the Spirit, it's dead. It's just rules and regulations.
I'll tell you a quick story, and the reason I don't deal with this a lot on Manifest, to be honest, is because we have such a crossover audience. We have Jews, Muslims, Catholics. So I try to stick to a subject of interest. But from time to time, I'll deal with the Holy Spirit. The man who prayed for me, now this is a remarkable story, but the man that prayed for me before his death and asked God to anoint me the way he was anointed was Rufus Comfort, my dad's uncle. In 1933, Rufus had a brain tumor. They sent him to Johns Hopkins Hospital, I'll make this short, and couldn't operate on him, sent him back to West Virginia to die. Severe pain, severe headaches, and he didn't eat for 3 days and was out in the potato patch in the backyard. Everybody had a garden back then, digging potatoes, and a wind, and he said the trees weren't blowing, but a wind came around him and knocked him on his back. And he said when it knocked him on his back, he started praying. He had a third grade education. He could not read the Bible. He couldn't read at all. And all of a sudden, the Spirit of God touched him, and he began to pray. And when he began to pray in what we call other tongues, or pray in the prayer language of the Spirit, then the Lord interpreted back to him Mark 16, word for word from the Bible, and he'd never read it. Well, the reason he knew, he quoted it, his wife came out. She could read and heard him saying it. She thought the brain tumor had ruptured. And here he got saved and filled with the Holy Spirit. Well, this man could speak. My daddy was with him when he did it. This man could speak 8 languages fluently: Greek, Latin, I don't remember them all. There was just Italian. And he could go up to people in the coal mine fields of West Virginia in the 40s and 50s and 60s when the mines were really booming, because a lot of Europeans moved here and worked in the mines. That's all they could do. And he could talk to them in their language. Go right up to them and talk to them in their language. And so this man had, this would be called in 1 Corinthians 12, the gift of tongues. He had it. I saw him operate in it. His whole family, most of his family are now older people that go to Baptist churches, but they'll tell you, oh yeah, I saw Dad. Dad would go say, this guy's from Germany, I got to go talk to him. And he'd go talk in German and drink a cup of coffee and carry on a conversation by the Holy Spirit. So he prayed for me before he died, and that same gift came on me. Now, Bill has been in services where he's seen it operate, but I don't want to get into that. But it's a very powerful manifestation when God wills it to operate. And we have seen as many, we have what's called Warrior Fest, which is a youth gathering. One night when the glory of God hit, and it was after a manifestation of diverse tongues and interpretation, immediately the glory of God hit, and 700, it was over 700 young people received the baptism of the Holy Spirit in 5 minutes. I mean, literally, I don't know if you've ever seen it. They were falling out under God's power. Nobody praying for them, no lines, nobody laying hands on them. One group of 50 just fell, like the glory hit them, and just like in the Bible when the priest couldn't stand to minister at the temple, they just fell, and every one of them were filled with the Spirit. And so the older generation raised traditionally, it's difficult for them to understand it because they came up 30, 40 years under a certain type of teaching. The younger generation, however, is so open to, okay, tell me the truth. Well, and they're open, and that openness is the reason I think God's going to pour out His Spirit on a younger generation.
Yeah.
I really do.